In this video, I'll be talking about 3 stocks I'll be buying for April. And as a disclaimer, this is not me telling you what stocks you should be buying, but I'm telling you what I'm personally buying and looking at. And just like anything else you do, you should always do your own research, get your own information, and make your decisions on your own. Starting out with the first one. This one I got interested in because I've been trying to figure out exactly how the fintech space works, and I just, as I started digging more into the business, it just became more fascinating or more interesting to me how the business operates. And this first one is Visa. Now, why would someone like me who invests in future technologies be buying Visa? And the reason for that is, if you think about Visa as a business model, most people do not really understand what Visa truly does. Okay, so if you think about the process of you going into a store and tapping your card on the terminal device, Visa receives that request for you to make a transaction from the merchant, and it goes off to the bank, says to the bank, okay, you're cleared to make this transaction. That transaction gets back to the merchant. It's a fully done sale. Okay, so that's just the absolute basic of what a Visa transaction would look like. Now, there are fees that sit on top of this, and some of these fees are fixed. Okay, so if I look at that, Visa has a residual cash flow, and that cash flow, I think their profitability is around 49%, which is, if you think about that, is just on a different level from the point of view of profitability. So Visa does not have to do much in order to get its free cash flow and to get its profit margins on an annual basis. Okay, so that's one of the reasons that I'm most excited and interested in Visa. Nearly every bank debit card that I've seen, nearly every credit card that I've seen has the Visa logo on it. And the way I like to buy my Visa stock is I buy it as a part of one of my pies on Trading 212. So I have a pie set up for fintech companies, and I just lumped a few different companies in there, including Visa, and that's how I'm currently buying Visa at the moment. And I will be buying more Visa, and I always use my little probes, so I'd maybe add a small position, and then I continuously look and research that company, and as I get more and more convinced about what I'm buying, I just keep adding to my position until it becomes a very important part of my main portfolio. Now, I'm using Visa not only as a strategic play, but I'm also using it to really diversify my holdings, right? Because if you look at Visa over time, it doesn't tend to fluctuate much. It's not affected too much by the volatility, because more and more we keep seeing the importance of having these digital transactions, so moving away from cash into a digital economy, as we use our bank cards more, as we use Apple Pay. And Visa also has a research center that they're currently using to research all these future technologies. It has been ramping up its transaction of cryptocurrency. So Visa is saying to you, hey, you're a merchant, you don't really know and understand how to transact these cryptocurrency. Visa is saying, hey, we're gonna take care of that for you. They've agreed to, at some point in the future, I come in as a customer, I'm wanting to deal with a merchant, I'm saying, hey, it doesn't really matter how I'm gonna pay you, but I'm gonna tap my digital wallet, and I probably have some Ethereum or Bitcoin or some other cryptocurrency. Visa is going to handle all that transaction in the background. It gets transacted into the local currency that the merchant prefers, and that's it, right? As simple as that. So Visa is saying, I'm gonna make it as simple as possible for you. The next company on my list is a company that I really got interested in through my kids. My kids have spent a lot of time during lockdown playing this game with their friends, just interacting with it, right? So one day I decided that I'd join them and just play the game with them. Anyways, I found myself more and more becoming involved or interested in whatever the company is doing. And that company recently went and did their initial public offering, so it's now available on the stock market. And that company is Roblox. Now, Roblox has a very unique business model. Roblox is essentially a gaming development platform as well as a marketplace. So if you think about it as a standalone, it basically offers developers to create games and have them be available almost instantly on time of publishing, there and available for customers to use, or for users to use. So Roblox has an even more, or during the pandemic, Roblox had more watch time than any other platform, period. More than YouTube, more than TikTok, more than Twitch. So that's a big statement, right? There are all these young people wanting to play games with their friends and wanting to be able to dive in and immerse themselves into something that doesn't have a steep learning curve. Anyways, so Roblox has their own digital currency called a Robux, right? And one of the trends I've noticed is I've had family members who requested getting Robux as a gift card for their birthdays or any kind of present. So you can buy these Robux and use them on the Roblox platform to be able to get different upgrade packages, etc. Right, so that's one of the ways they make money. And if you look at what Roblox gets by having developers develop these games for them, is they're effectively getting these people, these developers to develop these games. Roblox makes a kickback for every transaction that happens within these games. So they use a freemium model, right, at the top of it. So Roblox, you can play most of their games for free. It's down to the developer and the way they want to monetize. The developers get a certain cut out of it, and Roblox get a cut out of it as well. I think their free cash flow is in the billions at the moment, and their revenue, everything is up at the moment. And if I look at the importance of the whole gaming industry, that's in the hundreds of billions at the moment, and it's about who can capitalize the best and bring customers into that space and keep their attention as best as they can. Roblox is doing all of this without even a lot of marketing, because the people who use their service are recommending it to their friends, telling their friends, come on, jump on this platform, let's play a game after school, whatever, on the weekend, whenever, right? So I myself have been trying to immerse myself into Roblox. I've finally gotten it and gotten the reason why these teenagers love Roblox. And one of the things that's so important to Roblox and their leadership, their management team, is they're very aware of safety that's required on their platform, so protecting their core customers, and the parents are loving that, right? Because they even have a separate app that parents can download to be able to monitor the activity of their kids on Roblox. So they're providing all these tools, everything, right? And it also offers kids a way to learn about gaming development as well. They can create their own games, right? So all this excitement around Roblox I really love, and that's one of the reasons I've set my probes. I've put a small initial investment in Roblox, and eventually I'll build up that position to become bigger and bigger over time. Also, I'll be buying a few shares for my kids as well. So this again isn't financial advice. I'm not telling you to do anything that I'll be doing. It's my personal point of view. Final company that I'll be buying for April is a company that operates in the health industry, right? So that's more around digitalization of exercise activity. Now, this company is one that I liken to a Tesla and an Apple when it comes to brand loyalty. The customers who buy their products really love the product and would recommend it to their friends. And yes, they're a little bit on the expensive side, but the customers really do not mind because they feel like they're getting good value for money. And this company is Peloton. And Peloton, even though it has some competitors, I'm not too worried about that because Peloton has been doing a lot of research into the various software and hardware and how the software and hardware interacts and how customers interact with those parts of their product services. Their leadership is very focused on giving that unique experience, and I think management, clearly defined business model, all of these things, brand loyalty really will drive growth into the future for Peloton, right? They have all sorts of equipment coming, and this is my belief. I think that Peloton will continue to push new software out there, new unique software offerings, but not only software but also new hardware offerings. So not just the bikes. Most people, when they hear Peloton, they think about Peloton bikes. Peloton also brought out the treadmill, and I think that Peloton will also bring out different types of exercise equipment, such as maybe a rowing machine. Maybe they'll go into gym equipment as well. I'm not sure, but I personally believe that that's the direction that Peloton is headed, because they've been spending a lot of money on research and development of their products. So in my opinion, and what I look for in companies, are companies that are clearly thinking about how can we innovate, how can we change these spaces that we're operating on, how can we create organic growth and maintain business and customer loyalty. Very important, very essential to these business models for them to continue to grow into the public, into the future. Anyways, I just wanted to give you those three companies quickly. So just as a quick recap, I spoke about Visa as a payment network that I'm buying, and it goes beyond even that, right? I think Visa will have an even more important role to play in the future, because it seems like management has their head in the right place, thinking about the future and how to avoid being disrupted by all these new competitors coming into the space, right? And Square and PayPal are not direct competitors, but I think that at some point in the future they could end up becoming disruptors of Visa. But I think that Visa is uniquely positioned for the time being. Until that changes, then I'm currently on board with Visa. Roblox, that's another company I spoke about. Very unique business model, same type of attributes that I look for great businesses. Peloton as well was the third company, and all of these companies I believe have same or similar attributes in terms of the direction that they're headed in the future. So they've all been able to adapt and change their mold of their core business model and continue to grow and develop to drive to drive quality to customers. Anyways, thanks for watching again. Tavis Liberty out.